Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Christian Life Coach Collective. You're invited to this table with others on the same journey to becoming a great coach with a strong foundation, no matter what type of coaching you're called to. I've lived a lot of my life full of doubt and confusion about my purpose. I didn't know if my broken and messy story could be used by God, but I did know I wanted to find a way to serve Him and others while making money. In fact, I had no idea what life coaching even was, and I just thought it sounded kind of silly. But as I pressed into what God was calling me to, He was faithful to make the path clear to me, and now I love my life as a coach. In this podcast, you'll learn more about your calling as a coach, whether you've been doing it for a bit or just starting to think about it. You'll hear experts and coaching examples and learn new strategies and tools, and so much more. I'm Laura Malone, and I'm honored to guide you in your coach calling, and together, we can pursue wholeheartedness for both you and your clients with the help of Holy Spirit. So get ready to become the hero in your own story and an amazing guide to others. Okay, it's another beautiful day and a great episode because I want to talk to you about looking for a life coach, knowing what you are looking for, knowing how to ask for it, what you need to know while you're searching, what you need to ask when you are talking to somebody. So let's get going with that. Let's say that you've decided you want to become intentional about your life. You want to be more mindful about the decisions you make, and you've recognized that the current results you're getting aren't likely to get you to the horizon that you've envisioned for yourself. Or maybe you don't have any vision at all, and you need somebody to help you discover one. So you open your laptop, get your cup of coffee, do a little Google searching for life coach near me. And you have no idea how many different kinds of specific coaching there is out there, since life coaching is an umbrella for all the other niches of coaching that are sitting underneath it, okay? You're overwhelmed by the amount of results that come up, and you probably don't know where to start. Well, I'm going to answer these questions for you, and if you're a coach, you need to understand this process that your clients are going through to find you. Because maybe you didn't go through this process before you became a coach, and you need to be aware of the questions your clients are asking and potential clients, what their processes are. And this is going to even help you as a coach understand how you can best meet the needs of potential clients. So, there are a lot of different kinds of coaches out there, and in episode number 3, I explain the 4 types of coaches that I train and coach with. Not everybody will use the same language or even have the same awareness of these types of coaching, so I recommend that you would listen. If you're looking for a coach, listen to episode number 3 so you can hear for yourself and have the language that you need to know, so you can ask potential coaches certain questions based on what you are aware that you're looking for. So you might start with one type of coach and then find out that you are needing a new type of coach, different because of the different needs and growth season that you're in down the road. Some people start out feeling like they want what I call a pastoral coach, who's going to lean in and listen and validate and help take like some smaller, slower steps. Then later, maybe they find that they want somebody who's more strategic and specialized to help them make really quick gains in an area. That's okay, and it's totally normal. And while some people find that a coach that they stay with for years, others might transition sooner based on their changing needs and awareness of those needs. But remember that every coach has something to offer. And if you're aware of what you're looking for, you'll better find the coach that fits your season and your goals in the best way. So first off, ask yourself if you feel the need to be heard before taking action. You might think everybody would say this, but it's not necessarily true. Some people are looking for a more mentoring or strategy coach who can lay out exactly where they've been and point A, how they got there, and then help form a specialized goal blueprint for you that gets you straight to point B without a lot of talking out what's in your head and heart. But if you need that, you should look for a coach who is a bit more high touch. If you need the, talking out what's in your head, what's in your heart, and more of a coach and client equality type session rather than the coach being the authority on the subject, so that you really feel you're getting equal time with your coach. That's going to be somebody who's more high touch, meaning they're more available in the coaching session for you to share as much as you need to, and it's going to be less of them with the authority sharing and leading, and more of the two of you equally working through. If you need this and don't have that connection and opportunity to share, you might feel like your coach is moving forward too quickly, or like they don't care about what you need to get out of your head or off your chest. So maybe that is a person who coaches more low touch and more authoritative in their approach rather than high touch with greater coach-client equality. So a low touch authoritative coaching has a place in coaching, and it works great for some people. So rather than being offended by their approach, I recommend you just do the research and work out for yourself what you're looking for so you can choose a coach that is the best fit for you. And don't be afraid to ask questions. If you can dial in on what your goals are, you'll be able to do your best in the research zone. So if you have specific goals, look for a coach who specializes in things like postpartum weight loss, spiritual direction. There's grief coaches out there, declutter coaches. There is a coach for everyone and every goal. So think of it like a life coach is a general surgeon, able to do lots of surgery in a lot of different areas. But if you want somebody who has done an appendix removal time and again and again and again, you want a specialist. You want somebody who can work on the heart or the brain, but you want to go to a specialist if at all possible. And so you can just Google for that person. Okay, you can go look for coaches that are specific about things. I am a general life coach, but I can zoom in and I have a lot of experience in specific areas. And right now I'm currently operating as a coach for life coaches. That is my specialty. It's currently my superpower. I'm growing in lots of different areas of strategies and tools and foundations in coaching. There's always continued education for a coach. And I am personally a lifelong learner, very growth-minded. I can consume and learn all day long and then never produce anything because I'm so happy consuming things that I can learn and grow from. But the necessity, it's hard to say multiple times, necessity of finding someone who is zoomed in and has lots of experience in any one given area is really unique and can be very good for you. So I don't do weight loss coaching specifically, but I have worked with people who want to lose weight in order to gain health. And I can help them up to a certain degree, but then often I will say, hey, this is a great weight loss coach over here. Why don't you search that out? I've gotten you to a point with your mindset and your belief system, and we've gotten some kind of result, but I think that you would do really well by getting a specific coach who's seen consistent results with their clients in this one area. Why don't you go try that out? Come back to me when you see results there, and we can keep working together. There's no competition here. There's no reason to be competitive. And I love referring out to coaches who carry tools and strategies and have the ability to get you further than I can. There's no reason for me to hold you back from growth just to keep you and not let you have somebody who can really get you closer. So you can also find life purpose coaches that help you get clear on your gifts and callings and what to do with them. I do a lot of that and I really love it, but there are some people that only do that. So I want you to see some of the possibilities that you can actually do searches for if you're very clear about the goal that you have. But here's some things to consider, okay, when you're looking for a coach. Are you good with online coaching? or are you looking for local face-to-face sessions? You're going to want to have that answer. What is your financial budget? Most coaches are going to be anywhere from $75 to $250 an hour. And I would say that depends on a couple of factors. One, the kinds of clients that they already work with, the amount of time they've been coaching, and the experience level that they're at and where they find themselves comfortable in setting their prices, and also the calling on their lives. So I could be charging a lot more for my coaching, but because the call I feel and the heart that God has given me for people specifically where they are, my ideal client doesn't have a lot of discretionary funds and doesn't want to get into deeper debt. So I love to keep my prices lower, not because I couldn't charge more, but because I don't want to charge more. I know most people will say, well, if I see something at a low cost, I'm going to assume you're going to get what you pay for, and it might not be quality. Well, that can be true, but I can say I know several coaches who keep their prices lower because regardless of what the value is they offer, they really want to be able to meet the needs of specific clientele, and those are not always high ticket offers for high ticket clients. Those are two different things, okay? Also, what is your time budget? How much time do you have to give to your coaching and the investment in this in reaching your goals, okay? Think about that ahead of time because each coach is going to have an offer of maybe a package, how much time they want to spend every week or bi-weekly, how often they want to meet. If you know that ahead of time for yourself, what you can fit into this season of life, it'll really help you. And are you interested in one-off sessions here and there? Or would you like to invest in a package of maybe 4 to 8 sessions that offer more accountability? Like, some coaches will do a 3-month package. Like maybe their offer is, hey, 2 sessions up front and then guided access for the next 2 months. There's lots of different options out there. There are courses and programs you can join. But if you are looking to just meet with one person to have that more high-touch experience, then they're going to offer you a specific package of sessions, most likely. And it's important for you to know, again, your time budget, your financial budget, and what you're looking for. Next, what areas of your life do you want a coach's input and guidance in? Think about this because it's an important thing to research for. So if you want a coach's input into weight loss or into your business, then be specific about that and then be clear about which areas of your life are off limits. Where are you going to feel uncomfortable if the coach wants to go there? Okay? Knowing that ahead of time will keep you from being offended when a coach asks a question. If you just have the words where you can say, like, that's not a place that I want to work on right now. So can we get back to the goal that we've discussed? That's all you have to do. Communicate clearly ahead of time, and you can limit the amount of offense or hurt feelings if the coach thinks that maybe we need to go in this area and you don't feel comfortable with that. Should never be a problem for your coach to agree with you. Next is, have you ever tried to grow in these areas that you want a coach to help you with? And have you ever tried to achieve these goals? And if so, what was the outcome? If it wasn't a beneficial or positive outcome, why not? Can you see the types of hindrances or the blockage, or what kind of things kept you from being able to achieve or grow in those areas? And lastly, are there specific values that you want your coach to have that align with yours? So are you looking for a specific type of personality, somebody who kind of mirrors and matches your energy that you bring to the session? Are you looking for somebody who talks quieter, and because somebody who talks more loudly is uncomfortable? Sometimes people yelling from a stage or a pulpit or anything actually causes me to not be able to hear them because they're yelling. And my brain actually turns that off. And so now I don't know what you're saying. So I do look for somebody who matches my energy, and I look for somebody who isn't going to yell while they, are teaching. So what about beliefs? Are you looking for somebody who is not a Christian, who is a Christian, who has a specific spiritual belief system, who has a specific political belief system, who has a specific belief system about any area that's important to you? Think about that ahead of time. And if you are looking for somebody who lines up with your beliefs in any way, that's going to be something that you want to know beforehand. And what about their strategy and their method of getting you to your goal and helping you grow? Think about that. What are you looking for? What do you want? Are you going to respect somebody who is quick moving, but have not so much respect for somebody who takes their time helping you get someplace? That's a real thing. So if you have somebody who has values in areas that matter to you, you'll have greater respect for them, and you'll be able to receive what they're guiding you in and how they're teaching you better than somebody who is out of alignment with your value system. Next, on top of those things that you need to consider, you can always do a consultation call with 2 to 3 coaches that you've determined might be good fits for you. A lot of them do a free consultation call. This isn't a call where you should expect free coaching, but it's a call to ask important questions and make sure you've laid these questions out ahead of time. So here's a format I suggest that you use. Thanks for meeting with me. I know your time is really valuable and that this is a complimentary call, so I would just like to share a little bit about myself to help you know where I'm at and where I'd like to go if we were to work together. Basically, my stage of life is, and then just share about your stage of life, okay? Your marital status, if you have any kids, and what ages they are, things that keep you busy, things that you wake up for. Are you the sole provider, etc.? Next is my current schooling or education or job or responsibility is, and then share if you're in college, if you manage a warehouse 9 to 5, if you work from home, if you're taking care of aging parents, what kind of current responsibilities do you have in this stage of life? Then what I'd like to pursue, accomplish, or gain is, and that could be starting a business, gaining a healthier lifestyle, finishing your book, just whatever that is. Then I have this schedule, ... and I would like to meet ... so that you know when you can and definitely cannot meet. And then the coach is upfront with that as well. They know what your schedule is and what you're looking for time-wise. Then you can say, I have a couple of questions for you. Do you take an equal client-coach approach or more of a coach-guided, authoritative approach? Then you can ask, hey, if I were to be sharing and you feel like I've gone on long enough, would you be more likely to let me keep talking as long as I feel to? Or would you be more likely to suggest that we stop right where we are, take what I've shared, and move forward with it so we can start getting results? And then consider ahead of time what answer you're hoping this coach will share. Do you want them to say, I would let you keep sharing? Or do you want them to say, I'd probably cut you off and say, let's get going with this? It's important. Some people want one of those options and some people want the other. So it's not weird that you'd want one more than the other. It's just important for you to be aware of what you're looking for. And you might even come up with some other questions along these lines that are important to you that you can ask. That's great. You can also say to this prospective coach, if at some point you feel like I am not your ideal client, or I feel like our time together has closed, how would you handle that? So I feel like it's best to know the answer to this question up front, because that keeps it from being hard or awkward later. If there is a path laid towards the exit door, then you're more likely to walk it when the timing is right for you to leave, rather than prolonging something when the grace is gone for it. And that does not make for fun coaching sessions. Now, after sharing all of this and asking these questions, if the coach doesn't give you information about their offers for their sessions and packages, then these are the questions that you can ask, okay? Can you give me an overview of your coaching offers? Which do you think best suits me and my needs? How long do you think we need to work together to see results? And what are your rates? For this, I recommend you have your max price in mind ahead of time, but don't be shocked. And when they tell you, you should be able to tell from their website a little bit about them, their kinds of offers and clients that they work with, and what kind of rates and offers they have. So next is, what kind of homework and outside of session time do I need to commit to if we work together? It's important for you to understand that some coaches will have homework for you. And if you don't want to commit to something like that, if you literally just want the coaching sessions, then you're not going to want to work with somebody who expects you to be doing things between sessions. I usually have homework. I usually give a recap of our session, notes on what I have shared, and I give direction forward, steps to take between now and the next session. And I require that that work is done before we meet at the next session and turned into me with substantial time for me to go over it before we meet. Otherwise, I don't see the point in meeting, and I ask my client to reschedule. If you're not going to do the homework that I suggested that you committed to doing, then we're not going to meet until the homework's done, because that's what the next session is about. Not every coach does that, but that is the way that I operate. So I will share that I personally no longer do discovery calls for 2 reasons. Number one, I don't have the time. Rather than spending my time doing discovery calls and marketing them to bring them in, I created this podcast. So this is my complimentary free content. This is my lead magnet, my opt-in that allows you to get to know me and understand who I am and how I coach. I currently only coach other coaches, both those who are already coaching and those who are considering becoming one. And while I used to offer discovery calls, or I used to call them curiosity calls, I don't have time in my schedule any longer to make allotment for that, especially because I still have kids at home, a husband who works at home running our full-time ministry, and also this podcast, in addition to running my business, in addition to laundry and shopping and sleeping and sometimes eating. And I enjoy self-care, so I like to leave and hang out with my friends. And honestly, when you are trying to fit discovery calls in all day long, trying to meet the needs of people to see if they want to work with you, it's a lot to add. So because I added the podcast, I did away with discovery calls, because the podcast is really the best way to get to know me and if you want to work with me. So number 2 is what that leads to, why I don't do the discovery calls, is because I give all of this information in the podcast out for free. And I want you to have a good glimpse at who I am so you can self-select yourself as my client. My assumption is that if you and I are right to work together, then you'll like me enough while listening to the Christian Life Coach Collective that you'll book a coaching clarity session with me or jump into the Greenhouse training and certification course. I trust God to lead the right people to me at the right time using this podcast and your discernment as well as your passion to become a great coach. And my policy is that if after one session of coaching clarity with me, you don't feel like it's a great fit, we simply clarify that we have no hard feelings and we move forward. And maybe I can even help you find the right person to go be coached by, because I know that I'm not everybody's favorite flavor of ice cream. So if I feel like it's not a good fit though, I'll be honest with you at the end of the first session or quickly thereafter if I feel like I need to pray about it. But I will always offer an explanation of why I believe this isn't going to work, and as well as like suggestions of where to find the right coach for you. So most of the time when a client or a coach feels like there's not a right fit, it's more because of the goal, the need, or the offer, or the timing. So it's usually not as personal. It's more of the actual logistics of what the coaching is for, how it happens, how much it costs, and the right season. That said, I'm just going to talk to the coaches or the CTBs, the coaches to be out there for a second. You need a coach for yourself. This podcast and others and books, they can help you. And you probably even have a friend or a dog or a toddler who you can, who will listen to you while you talk about your coaching journey. But how can you expect others to invest in themselves and work with you when you don't invest in yourself? And when you don't make yourself coachable with somebody else? So I realize that when you're getting started, it feels like you don't have the resources, the money, and the time to get your own coach. But your clients are going to feel the same way. And the best way to help them overcome the lack of commitment to themselves is by having to overcome it yourself. You'll understand what they're struggling with. You'll know why they don't keep their word, why they don't schedule with you, why the inbox is quiet. But more than that, when you overcome that mental block of investing in yourself, because it really is an investment, it's not like you're spending money on worthless items or paying rent on a house you'll never reap from, then that investment in the overcoming of the mental block of that investment is going to help you be a better coach for the same clients who are having that problem. As a coach, you are making it possible for people to make investments into themselves in a very specific way that you are able to help them. You're not begging for money, and you're not, scamming them. You're creating opportunities for investments. That's what a coach does. And then you're going to help them get results, an ROI, the return on the investment. You're going to do that with them. So you can find coaches out there that are like business oriented, coach mindset oriented, entrepreneur mindset oriented, how to build an online course for your coaching business oriented, and more. You can find spiritually minded ones, general life coaches that can help you with other areas of your life, not just your coaching and your business. It doesn't matter, but I recommend that you find one and schedule a call. Get one session at least every month with them while you're coaching others. In the long run, you might find yourself having 2 or 3 different kinds of coaches based on your need for mental and emotional support, and then other things that come in your life like health support, stage of life support, goals that you've set for your business. You will need coaches for multiple areas of your life that you can get specific with. And then you could even find like a peer coach who you swap sessions with. So maybe your peer coach is great at social media marketing and you want that help in your business. And in turn, you offer them performance mindset coaching for the marathons they run. Win-win, right? Why wouldn't you? Don't be afraid to ask. And obviously, you're always invited to book a coaching clarity session with me for wherever you find yourself on the journey. And if that session's all about your current place and the process, and your need to talk it out and whiteboard while, just getting unbiased feedback from me, great. If the session is about how to start creating your own strategies and coaching tools, great. If the session's focused on one type of coaching and building up your strength in that area, perfect. And if that session needs to be about your own mindset and getting you past the very hurdles that you help others climb, I'm here for it. At this point in my coaching journey, I'm able to put on the hat of whatever kind of coach you need me to be for you in your coach calling. But if not with me, I still recommend walking with somebody because I believe in coaching so much. And I'll never agree that the life coaching industry is saturated. How could it be? There's currently 7.9 billion people in the world, and I think every one of them needs a coach. And everybody needs somebody specific to be a great coach for them. It's like my nonprofit that we do disaster relief in. You can't tell me there will ever be enough disaster relief organizations that actually help people and not just take money. There's too much crisis on the earth for there to be too many. And, the point of helping kinds of people, the point of hope bringers is that we're there to help other people, not compete. So let's just get trained. Let's start reaching our hands out and let's help people get where they're meant to be going. And in the case that you do want to schedule with me, then just head to sterlingandstonementoring.com and book it soon, because I only have a certain number of appointments for actual one-to-one sessions open every month. And especially right now, because I have some travel coming up in May and June. And then once the greenhouse course begins July 14th of 2022, there's going to be even less one-to-one spots available. So check that out on the website as well, the greenhouse course while you're there to schedule a coaching clarity session. So I hope that this helps if you're looking for a coach, or if you're a coach who wants to become more aware of what your clients have to think through and consider in order to find you. Let this be a bit of a guide for how you can help answer some of their questions, on your website, in the copy for your email and such, just because answering a prospective client's questions before they have to ask them is always a wise business move. And coaching is all about meeting your client's needs. So jump on it. And have a great day, my friends. And just to end, I bless you, your calling, and your coaching. And if you've loved any of this content, my favorite form of thanks is a written review over on Apple Podcasts. It'll only take you 30 seconds, and I would so appreciate it.